Okay, this is Brian McNeill with Very Personal Sales Coaching coming to you from beautiful Center City Park in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a rainy day, and what I want to talk about this morning is how I got to be a sales coach and what was my journey, what was the impetus, what was the beginning, and why I believe I'm a good sales coach now and why others have hired me, and maybe why you want to consider doing that as well. I'm 44 now, and I began my professional sales career when I was 23 years old. It was with a home improvement company, and I'll never forget. But the day I interviewed for the job, the gentleman that interviewed me did an actual sales presentation on me, and it was a great presentation. I wanted to buy from him as well, so I figured if it was that easy, I should do it too. And I got the job, and my first 8 months there, I was horrible at it. I was always the low man on the totem pole in sales, and I could never figure out how to do it. The sales training program consisted of hang in there, or keep trying, or you'll get it. That's about all they offered. And the beginning for me, the real beginning for me, happened on a really hot day in August. And my first sales call was at 11 a.m. My second sales call was at 5 p.m. And I was too insecure to cold call in between them, so I had all this time to kill. So what I ended up doing was I ended up going to a used bookstore in Wake Forest, North Carolina. The bookstore was called Stevens Bookstore. It's now since moved to Raleigh, North Carolina. And I ended up in a business section, and I ended up picking up a book, How to Master the Art of Selling by Tom Hopkins. Tom Hopkins' picture was on the cover. I bought that book, which was with my lunch money that day. Did no longer have any lunch money. But Tom Hopkins and his book became my business partner, my first de facto sales coach. So I started turning those pages, and page 4 of that book talks about why you can't fail in the profession of sales, and I needed to hear that at that time in my life. But what I ended up doing was every day I would just turn those pages reading that book. I'd bring that book with me and on my sales calls, and right before I got to go to a sales call, I would just put the book underneath the seat next to me, and then I would go in there and I would do whatever Tom Hopkins said to do. I was so green and growing that whatever any sales book said to do, I would just do it. Didn't question anything. But I finished that book and my sales started to go up. And then I got another one. The next one I bought was Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. And I started turning the pages of those books, and I got better at the game of selling. And the third one I got was an awesome one. The third one was The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. And that book has really changed my life more than any other. But it's a real thin book, but I started reading that book, and I internalized that book, and I just went from one book to the next book to the next book. And as I turned pages, I got better and better at my craft. Some of the books were not as good as others, but it didn't matter, as long as I was studying my craft consistently. One of the books told me to study your craft for 30 minutes to an hour before you go to work, and I did that. And I got better and better and better at my craft. At this point in my life, I've probably read, by my own personal count, more than 700 books on the craft of selling. I've helped hundreds of men and women on how to sell better. I've done thousands of presentations. I've been in, and I've made thousands of sales, and I've missed thousands of them. But over time, you get better and better and better at your craft. And what I've learned and what I really believe today is that most sales training does not work at all. Most sales training is only good for the moment to help you feel better. Most sales training doesn't work because it's not personalized. I think to be most successful in professional sales, you need a coach. You can't do it on your own, but you need a coach that's going to tailor his presentation and tailor his coaching and tailor his training for you as an individual. So that's why my company has the name of Very Personal Sales Coaching. You can go there to verypersonalsalescoaching.com. My name is Brian. You can email me at Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at verypersonalsalescoaching.com. You're also welcome to call me directly, 919-345-4893. Thanks a lot.